Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are a little bit early. This workshop begins just after 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you for joining us early, and we will have the slides up and be ready to go in just a few moments. Thanks for coming today. Thank you again. I see we have more people joining, and we're going to give you just 1 or 2 more minutes for more of your colleagues to join us. And we do have some watch parties. We have one happening in Sedona. Hello, Sedona. This will be recorded, and our workshops, like all of our global luxury workshops, will be posted to the YouTube channel. And all of those links will be provided to you at the end of this workshop. So our presenters today and our special guest will be coming on in just a couple of moments. So thank you for your patience.
Okay, I think we can get started as more people join since we have some disclaimers to run through. So I'll get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Essentials Workshop, a guide to global luxury, transforming your marketing with the 2026 Trend Report. This workshop is part of a tiered series of high-impact educational workshops brought to you by our National Coldwell Banker Global Luxury Marketing Team. As an Essentials workshop, today's session will provide guidance, strategies, and best practices for day-to-day impact with the Trend Report. Before we dive in, we have a few housekeeping items to go over. One, this class is being recorded, so while you can feel free to take notes throughout, you will have this recording to refer back to at a later date, which will also be helpful as we'll be sharing a ton of great info with you today. The chat, as well as everyone's cameras and mics, have been disabled and will be throughout the presentation to allow you to focus on the content. But then we'll host a live Q&A at the end of this presentation, and at that time, we'll enable your mics and cameras. Lastly, we have a few disclaimers that we're required to run through so that we can share this recording, which I will try to do quickly. We appreciate you being here since this program is optional and discusses best practices for your consideration. If you are thinking of adopting any of them, please make sure to review the requirements in your region with your manager, including those related to contacting consumers. We do want to highlight the importance of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, better known as TCPA. The general rules are that it's okay to call people if that person recently gave you their phone number, but remember to check the DNC list regularly if you haven't spoken to that person in a while. You'll also want to check the DNC list anytime you don't have permission. Automated calling and texting platforms should never be used, and pre-recorded messages and artificial voices should never be used. You'll be personally liable for any violations of the TCPA. And here on the slide is how you can access the Do Not Contact list within Desk. So now we'll dive in. Welcome again, and thank you for joining us. In this workshop, we will explore how to strategically leverage the Coldwell Banker Global Luxury Trend Report as a powerful thought leadership and marketing tool. We'll cover a quick introduction to the luxury marketing team, an overview of the trend report and why it matters, followed by a snapshot of this year's 7 key trends shaping the luxury market. Then we'll be joined by Frank D. Isaldi, a top producing agent and global luxury ambassador, to hear how he and his team have transformed their own marketing with the trend report. After that, we'll dig deeper into some real-life applications for leveraging the trend report and using it as a marketing tool. Then we will discuss customization options before winding down by sharing some key resources and opening to that live Q&A session. So to kick things off, we'd like to take a moment to introduce ourselves and the extraordinary team behind this educational initiative. My name is Tori Schiff, and I am the Luxury Marketing Manager for Connecticut.
And my name is Christina Larson. I'm the Luxury Marketing Manager for Florida, the Carolinas, Mid-Atlantic, and Atlanta. The Global Luxury Marketing team covers every major luxury market with 15 experienced luxury marketing managers and specialists across the country to deliver personalized support, strategy, and innovation to our agents. This map gives you a quick visual overview of the areas supported by our team, and we will share a document with every team member's coverage area and contact information with the resources at the end of the presentation.
So let's kick off by defining the Global Luxury Trend Report and understanding its value. The Coldwell Banker Global Luxury Program releases 2 luxury reports annually, the Trend Report and the Mid-Year Report. These publications are thoughtfully curated with the latest insights and market intelligence from trusted sources such as the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, Altrata, McKinsey & Partners, James Edition, and our own top-performing luxury property specialists in the field. Since these reports come out twice a year, the data is always fresh and relevant, making it a reliable tool at your disposal to demonstrate your luxury expertise. To get the most out of the trend report, it's important to first understand exactly what it is and what its purpose is. At its core, the trend report is 1, a trusted luxury intelligence resource. It pulls together national data, global wealth insights, and observed buyer behavior at the high end of residential real estate to give you a grounded view of what luxury buyers value right now and how those preferences are influencing the market. While other reports do exist in this industry, this is the only one created exclusively by the Coldwell Banker Global Luxury Program with you and your clients in mind. It's also a powerful conversational tool. The language, charts, and themes in the report give you an accessible way to talk about pricing, features, demand, and expectations. The goal is to help you translate these insights into ongoing touchpoints that feel relevant and easy for your clients to engage with. It's also a listing presentation differentiator. Walking into a consultation with a beautifully produced trend report immediately elevates your positioning. It sends a message that you're committed to understanding the needs of your clients and reinforces both your expertise and Coldwell Banker's leadership in the luxury space. And beyond its applications for client interactions, it's also a fantastic tool for personal marketing. There are a variety of potential use cases across social, email, video, and print media to promote yourself with the trend report, and we'll walk through those in a bit. And the best part is that certification is not required to use the trend report and its accompanying assets. Whether you're operating daily in the luxury space or still building your luxury brand, this resource is fully available to you. So now that we've established what the trend report is, let's explore why it matters. First, luxury clients expect an increasingly higher level of advisory input. Even the most seasoned sellers and buyers are navigating mixed signals right now, so clarity is key. They want to understand why buyers are behaving the way they do, why certain features command premiums, and why timing or presentation matters. More importantly, they want the hard proof behind the answers. So when you bring this report into the conversation, you're able to provide clear, proven guidance. Second, major client decisions on both the buy and sell side are more data and lifestyle driven than ever. Wealth migration, shifting priorities, generational influences, and designer preferences all shape how clients define value. The trend report gives you the context behind those forces to help you explain the reasoning for your recommendations. And third, while luxury remains stable, buyers are becoming more discerning. When sellers understand those buyer motivations, they become more open to guidance and less attached to features that buyers may no longer prioritize. The trend report gives you that context you need to set expectations thoughtfully and guide sellers toward choices that resonate with current buyer behavior.
Now that we've covered what the trend report is and the value it brings to you as a real estate professional, let's take a closer look at the 2026 trends themselves. These insights will serve as the foundation for strategies and conversations we'll explore next. The first trend we're looking at is the stability effect. Pricing at the top has been steady and decision-making is more deliberate. With healthier inventory and discerning buyers and sellers, we're operating in a market that rewards strategy over speed. Trend 2 is that real estate is becoming more strategic. Affluent buyers are treating real estate as a blend of lifestyle, long-term value, and diversification portfolio thinking is showing up in more conversations. Trend 3, the resilient wealth havens 2.0. Beyond the legacy hubs, a new set of haven markets continue to attract demand thanks to quality of life, stable fundamentals, and limited prime supply. Trend 4, and maybe you've heard this in recent news, is the age of inheritance. Historic wealth transfer over the next decade may influence who buys, who sells, and how quickly portfolios are reshaped. Trend 5, consumer trends are driving customization. Turnkey properties still dominate and often at a premium, but there are signals that luxury buyers are increasingly open to a more customizable route when the perfect home isn't available in their preferred location. Trend 6 is living large. Demand continues to favor more space and more function, which ties into Trend 7, which is the new blueprint for luxury living. Across markets, luxury buyers are consistent with their must-haves. This blueprint provides a deeper dive into what those are and why those matter. A few of these trends. First, real estate becomes more strategic. Luxury real estate is becoming increasingly strategy-driven, with affluent buyers prioritizing how a property supports long-term lifestyle, financial, and legacy goals. Buyers are looking beyond individual features and evaluating homes for utility, adaptability, and future-forward value. Space must serve a purpose, and today's buyer views the home as a flexible asset that can evolve with their needs, protect equity, and enhance overall quality of life. Buyers and sellers now expect guidance on how a property fits into the broader plan, whether that's future-proofing a lifestyle, maximizing a home's flexibility, or positioning an estate for long-term value. The most effective agents highlight design intelligence, expansion potential, and strategic function. Trend 4, the age of inheritance. A historic intergenerational wealth transfer of $31 trillion over the next decade will reshape luxury real estate, shifting not only who holds wealth, but how it is used. As Gen X becomes the first major inheriting group, they're approaching real estate with a pragmatic, portfolio-minded outlook. Much of the capital is expected to strengthen activity in the mid-luxury range, where buyers can balance their lifestyle goals with strategic financial decisions. This transition is also bringing advisors, family offices, and wealth managers into the conversation as families rethink their keep, sell, and rent strategy and reshape their property portfolio for legacy and continuity. Younger inheritors, such as millennials and emerging Gen Z, are increasingly value-driven, prioritizing wellness, environmental responsibility, and purposeful design. This opens up an opportunity to operate as a true strategic partner. You can leverage tools like Wealth Engine, which is exclusive to our luxury property specialists, to identify targeted buyer segments and guide clients through decisions that align with their long-term real estate goals. And finally, the blueprint for luxury living. Modern luxury homes are not defined by a single standout feature, but the complete harmony of their elements. Across markets, buyers consistently prioritize a prime location, strong privacy, compelling views, and smart comfort systems. These fundamentals, combined with design quality, updated systems, and amenities, create a sense of sanctuary and continue to rank among the most sought-after attributes. As we look to 2026, technology integration and energy-efficient systems like solar, geothermal, EV-ready infrastructure will remain baseline expectations for the luxury buyer. These preferences present a powerful opportunity to operate as strategic advisors, guiding clients on which enhancements matter the most, positioning properties through feature-led marketing, and crafting listing or renovation strategies that align with today's buyers.
Thank you. So remember, those were just a few highlights from this year's Defining Trends, but we encourage you to explore the full report. And as you read through, take note of the insights that best align with your market and business strategy. Now we'd like to dive into the practical applications for the trend report and how you can use it to transform your marketing. We are honored to welcome a very special guest to today's workshop, Frank D. Isaldi, a top producing luxury agent and Coldwell Banker Global Luxury Ambassador serving Westfield, New Jersey and surrounding markets. Frank has graciously joined us to offer his expertise in building a marketing strategy around the trend report and why it has become a valuable tool in his business. So welcome, Frank. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your insights. I know when we were speaking about the trend report's impact, you mentioned the importance of customization and maintaining trust and credibility with your clients. So can you please expand on that a bit and share more about your experience and personal strategy?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. I could go on and on and on about this report because I love it so much and I'm so excited to see the new one. So just to take one step back, I'm going to go into, kind of in depth as to what I do. But there are a lot of different ways that you can customize the report. You don't have to take it to the level that I have taken it. So you could start off on a much less expensive, level. And then, as you find it more useful, obviously, then you can, include it into your marketing. But I think it's worth every penny to go full blown. So I actually take the report that Michael Outnew and his amazing team and all you guys put together for us. And I totally changed the entire inside content, not necessarily the trends in the report, but all the photos are my listings. They're all, based on my market area. So the people actually that get it kind of feel like they recognize the houses, they recognize where they are. It feels much more personal to them as well. It's not just like this trend report for Beverly Hills when I'm selling a house in Westfield, New Jersey, outside of Manhattan. So, what I always tell my clients when I'm presenting this report is these trends are global and national, and they all matter, and they are all relevant to all of our markets in one way or another. But real estate is hyper local. So in here, I drill down to like very local statistics, et cetera, that they can rely, that they can relate to as well. And then kind of encompass, both of the reports. So I actually take the report, the first time I did it was the most expensive. I'm going to say it probably cost me between $15,000 and $20,000. But now I have my template, so it's much, much easier. Now we're just dropping in photos. My manager's wonderful about getting me all the data that I need for the graphs. My assistant Holly is amazing and kind of takes care of everything else for me. And then we drop them. So I have them customized front and back, and then we drop them into clear envelopes. And then I have a sphere of about 250 to 300 high net worth people within my community. So they all get it in the mail. And then I have extra copies that I definitely bring on listing presentations for higher end properties. And then you just never know, if you're going to meet with somebody for coffee and you think that they might find it interesting, I send it to them. Also, anybody that's on this call, if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, I can send you. I have it all digital as well, so it's in the issue flip guide, flip book, and I'm happy to send everybody a copy. Who would like to see what I've done. Obviously, you're going to make it to your own market and to your own personal taste. Some people might find I put in too much data. Other people would maybe put in more photos. That's the beauty of it. You can really take it to your level, but you have all this amazing content. And I don't know if anybody follows the Wall Street Journal, but they actually just quoted this report that's coming out, which is massive. And ironically, 3 of my clients already called and said, when are we getting our copies? Because they were following it and they quoted Call Banker and they knew exactly what was coming. So, people are aware. This is probably my 5th issue that I'm going to be sending out. So, they expect it, they like it, they feel like this sets us apart from Sotheby's and any other luxury brand out there, because nobody else is doing this and very few people are customizing it. But like I said, you could spend very little money and just customize the front. And I think even if you just do the front, you still get a page like with your information in it. And then the report just stays consistent. So if you're, if I were just breaking into the luxury market, that's what I would do. I would take this, I would, use it as a tool. Maybe you can't afford to send out 300 copies, send out 50 copies or 25 copies, or even better yet, go door to door in the most expensive neighborhoods in your market, introduce yourself and just say, I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to drop off this report that we just put together. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you got all your branding and contact information on the back. But it has been invaluable to me. I've certainly secured listings with it. And I think, in this quote, it just has continued to keep me as the go-to for luxury real estate in my market.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those insights. We couldn't have said it better ourselves, and we are going to go over those customization options. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. Sounds like you really have your whole plan figured out there, and I think that the strategies that you shared were amazing. So I think I speak for everyone on this call when I say thank you so much for sharing those insights. Oh, sorry, I didn't switch that. And I believe you're going to be staying on for the Q&A as well, right? So if anybody has questions for Frank, he'll be on, and we'll open it back up later. So Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So now that you've had that expert insight to build on, let's recap some of the main ways you can apply the trend report to your business and client interactions at every level, as Frank mentioned. So for sellers first, set clear expectations and help them see their home the way buyers do. When sellers understand what today's buyers actually respond to, they become more open to guidance and less anchored to features buyers may no longer prioritize. Use the trend report's new blueprint for luxury living to reframe their home through the lens of current buyer psychology. Similarly, using the trends to guide pre-listing improvements helps navigate potentially sensitive topics. Grounding your recommendations in broader patterns exemplified through the trend report removes emotion and lowers defensiveness by reframing the direction as strategy rather than criticism. You're giving them data-driven changes that meaningfully improve perceived value. And you can strengthen your pricing conversations. Use Trend One's stability narrative to frame pricing around what truly drives premiums. Shift the dialogue away from price per square foot and toward the experience the home delivers. Serious buyers understand that value. And you can shape a stronger marketing narrative. The trends will help you articulate the why a property should be positioned in the way it should. When the narrative aligns with national behavior, sellers feel more confident and buyers feel more understood. And speaking of buyers, you can clarify trade-offs and reframe compromise as a strategy. Instead of framing the decisions as settling, the trends allow you to position trade-offs as aligned with how other high-end buyers navigate the market. For example, choosing location over condition or views over square footage. This shifts compromise into strategy, which feels empowering rather than limiting. And anchor their search in lifestyle logic not unrealistic wish lists. Use the trends to help buyers articulate what they're really trying to solve, not just the number of bedrooms, but the way they want to live. When clients make decisions based on lifestyle logic, the search becomes more focused and more productive. And it helps you compare markets with confidence. Use Trend 3 to discuss Haven-like characteristics when clients are choosing between regions. And remember, our Coldwell Banker network consists of over 96,000 agents in more than 45 countries and territories, bringing even more value to your clients when considering relocation. And for negotiations, keep it strategic and convey logic over emotions. When tensions show up, such as price gaps, repair requests, or pace of decision-making, the trends help reset the tone. It also helps you bridge gaps with evidence. Help them understand the other side. If a buyer questions pricing, reference the stability narrative and the property's alignment with the blueprint. If a seller questions condition feedback, use the same checklist to validate the market's response and guide next steps. The trends give you neutral, shared language that helps both sides interpret the other's perspective without judgment. And you can strengthen your recommendations without applying pressure. Reframe them in a way that feels grounded, credible, and advisory by saying something like, based on what we're seeing in luxury across the country, here's the strategy I recommend. This reassures both parties that guidance isn't personal opinion, it's aligned with broader high-end behavior.
And now we'll explore a few practical conversation starters and real-world scenarios you can use to bring these trends to life. As you listen to these conversation starters, think about your current and maybe upcoming listings or even clients in your broader sphere who naturally align with the preferences and market shifts we've discussed. The goal is to help you recognize where these insights can naturally fit into your day-to-day interactions. So if you're in a buyer consultation, you might start a conversation by saying, something I am seeing nationally and in our market is the demand for privacy and more space. If you're in a listing appointment or maybe just a conversation about potentially listing, you might bring up that the trend report confirms buyers today really prioritize modern layouts and indoor-outdoor living. If you're working with an out-of-state buyer, you might share that the strong demand for this community and the short-term rental market explain why pricing looks the way it does. And in a portfolio review with a high net worth client, you might say, there's a national movement toward the new wealth havens. Let's see how that applies with your current portfolio. These examples are designed to give you language you can use in more formal conversations or casual client check-ins. By weaving these insights into your dialogue, you reinforce your role as a strategic advisor, you deepen that client trust, and position yourself as the go-to expert for interpreting what today's luxury buyers value most. The trend report, as Frank mentioned, is a powerful addition to your listing presentation bundle. We recommend using the black box. This helps position you as a true luxury expert. When you're presenting to sellers, you can incorporate into conversations by connecting trends from the report to certain features of their home. For example, we're seeing strong demand in the luxury market for multi-generational living. Larger homes with over 5 bedrooms and separate guest suites or casitas are especially appealing. Your property's layout and private casita make it a perfect fit for this trend. We'll highlight the flexibility and privacy in our marketing alongside its luxury features. And with tools like Wealth Engine, we can directly target buyer profiles that are most likely to be looking for this type of home. A key part of staying visible in the luxury market requires a consistent, engaging social media presence. It's a great way to reinforce your expertise and stay top of mind. Alongside the brand social media assets provided by Coldwell Banker, you can elevate your visibility even further by transforming key trend report insights into your own tailored content. A simple yet effective approach is to create a series of short 60-second videos, each focused on one of the trends, where you can explain what it means for your local market, how you're seeing it influence buyer and seller behavior. You could also build a themed series around evolving consumer preferences. This type of strategic, insight-driven content encourages engagement, sparks conversation, and again, it's going to reinforce your role as the luxury expert. Because we have 2 luxury reports published each year, the Trend Report and the Mid-Year Report, the insights stay timely and relevant, giving you months of strong content to work with. And if you're looking to highlight or to target specific high net worth segments, consider leveraging Wealth Engine to build a more precise audience for sending out a postcard or mailer. You could even look at our email marketing campaigns to introduce the report. Or, as Frank mentioned, you could send out the report itself. And don't hesitate to partner with the luxury marketing team or your local field marketing team. We can all help you strategize placement, refine messaging, and elevate the creative to ensure your materials fully reflect the expectation in the luxury space. And while the brand assets are a great resource, in addition, we strongly recommend layering your own insights from the Trend Report across your broader marketing efforts and existing materials. Consider featuring key takeaways in your monthly newsletter to reinforce your expertise and keep your clients informed. You can also elevate your digital presence by showcasing the Trend Report on your agent website or linking to it directly through your social media bios. For print materials, incorporating a QR code that drives clients to the report is a great way to add a data-driven touch point that will strengthen your positioning.
One of the most impactful ways that you can harness the power of the Trend Report is to customize it, and we offer a variety of options for doing so. Starting this year, you can now customize the Trend Report directly within ExpressDocs. You no longer have to visit multiple platforms or go through any extra steps. Simply open the Trend Report product in ExpressDocs, enter your details, and you'll be taken straight to your cart to place your order. This streamlined customization is simple, fast, and a powerful way to reinforce your luxury positioning and showcase your expertise, again, whether or not you are already certified as a luxury property specialist. But the customization opportunities don't end there. While ExpressDocs includes basic personalization at no cost, we also offer several tiers of more advanced customization. These range from adding a handful of personalized pages to a full market-specific rebuild, similar to what Frank's team produces, where every trend, quote, photo, and message is tailored to their audience. If you are interested in exploring these enhancement options, your global luxury marketing team can guide you, and we will share a quick overview of all of these options as well as your regional contacts in the chat when we wrap up in just a couple minutes. So we'll just close out with a few resources and recommendations. Firstly, I just want to mention that all materials related to the Trend Report, such as PDF versions, FAQs, and promotional assets, can be found right on the main page of the Global Luxury section within Desk, as shown here. And we also want to remind you of some of the broader marketing support resources. ColdwellBankerMarketing.com provides a central hub for you to access all additional support offered by the field marketing team, including links to the marketing catalog, next available appointment, additional live workshops, social media resources, and more. This website is not specific to the Global Luxury Program and is most useful for agents who are looking for more technical or product-specific support. We know that this was a lot of information to take in at once, so as you begin processing everything we've covered today, we encourage you to be strategic in how you move forward. Start small by just reading through the Trend Report and highlighting key insights that apply to your market. Explore custom options and order your custom reports in ExpressDocs, or build your social media strategy and content calendar focusing on this year's trend and the value of the report. You can also go into Wealth Engine if you're a certified luxury property specialist to curate your target buyer profile for mailing and emailing lists. Whatever it is, remember that you don't have to master everything at once. Start small, stay consistent, and lean on your luxury marketing team for support along the way. And now we'll stop recording, re-enable microphones and cameras, and open the floor to a live Q&A session. Any questions that are surrounding your specific area or situation should be directed toward your luxury marketing team members, and we will again be sharing a document of the entire team's contact information in the chat. So now I think we're open to Q&A. I'll stop sharing my screen, and Frank is here as well if you have questions for him.
And just a reminder, if you do have a question, to raise your hand and we will unmute you and we'll enable your cameras and mics, and then you'll have to unmute yourself. So just a raise of a hand if you have a question, or pop it into the chat.
I'm happy to get started. Oh, I see someone. I was going to ask Frank a question, but I'll let everyone else go first.
Go ahead, Kelly, while I allow the mic and camera for this agent.
Well, Frank, thank you. I think everyone's excited to learn from you and your insights, and we so appreciate you being here. And I know we invited you to talk about the trend report, but since we have you, I'm just curious. I know you're such an ambassador for the program and you really lean into all things global luxury. So I'm fortunate enough to meet you at some of the networking events like Luxury on Location. And I know you're a rock star at social media. I think you're known for that basketball video that went viral. And I feel like I know your dog. So I'm just curious, like, can you share kind of like overall kind of lean into and what works best for you from the global luxury program, because it is so expansive. It sounds like the trend report is one of the things you lean into, but I'm just wondering if there's other things that you can share since we're lucky to have you today.
Yeah, thank you so much, and it's great to see everybody. You know, and I think you make a good point. Like, you guys have provided so much for us that it's a little overwhelming when you get started to kind of go on and figure out, like, where do I start? And I think that's why a lot of people don't start. So I would just say start small. You know, figure out your market, what you think is going to work, and everybody's market is very different. I will say, you know, if you are going out on a luxury listing in your marketplace, definitely invest in the black box. It's so special. It's so different. It's so unique. It's not super expensive. And if you have the report somewhat customized, even if you don't go to the extent I do, like, that's the first thing in my box. So, like, I totally obviously lean into this report as a big part of my marketing and just securing listings, securing them at full fees. And I think once you come into the presentation with something like that, you've set yourself apart from every other realtor right off the bat. I mean, then you have to obviously show up, you know, with your presentation. But I would highly recommend, if you're just starting, pick a small, you know, and you guys said it great. Go through read the report first of all, you know, and find the one thing maybe that's in there, the one trend that really resonates in your market, and lean into it. Start on social media, make a video, hold up the report, ask somebody if they want a coffee, meet them, you know, want a copy, meet them for coffee, drop it off at their house. However, you know, create a digital, you know, flip sheet and send it to them. But I definitely think there's a ton that you can use. And that video that you guys just put out with Michael Outnew introducing the report is so great and sexy. And, you know, everybody should have that on their social media at some point.
Yeah,
and their website.
We're going to grab the link to that, and we'll share that in the chat, everyone. Thank you, Frank,
so
for
good.
bringing that up.
Thank you. It's helpful.
Such great advice. Well, our first person with the question is Camille. So Camille, go ahead with your question, whether it be to us or to Frank, who we're lucky to have today. Oh, you're still muted. Your camera's on, Camille, but you're still muted.
Okay, my apologies. Hi, Frank. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Camille. Nice
Frank,
to meet you.
I'm from Tucson, Arizona. So we're in a really different market than you are. And we're really trying to build up our global luxury presence in the Tucson area. We're dominated by other brokerages that seem to captivate the market more than we are. So this is a very important trend report. I love it. I have followed it for years, and I respect what it has to offer. Until today, this class has made a lot of sense to me, but your $20,000 number for a template, I almost fell off my chair. So tell me what that entailed and why it cost. Why would that cost be so high? Number one. Number two, how many pages are in your presentation that you customized to make it more to Frank, your version that you believe gives it that value? Because I think I love the customization of it. I think there's no reason to have a trend report if our face is not on it, right? And our name's not on it. So I believe in that, even if it's just a bio in the front. I love that. But pages and cost, if you can answer that question for me, please.
Sure. So I'm just looking at this one right here. It's a full 74 pages. I pretty much touch every page of the report. First of all, I just saw what you guys posted where you can do a full customization for $5,000. So you guys are going to be in much better shape than I was when I started, because I used an outside PR firm to help me put it
Okay.
all together. So I probably paid a lot more than you guys are going to have to pay, which is amazing. And that also includes mail. Like, I mail them. So it cost me $5 a piece to mail them. So, and then I have to pay for the clear envelopes, et cetera. So that was my initial investment. I would say I'm not going to say that I got 3 listings from it, but I probably secured 3 listings that maybe were iffy. So it paid for itself 100-fold. You know, $3 million at 3%, you know, times 3, it's worth it. So I think the investment's great. So to your point, if you're just trying to start to break into the luxury market, maybe just do the simple customization, get a lot more of them, and get them out there, just so people start to recognize your name and your brand, you know, with luxury. I will tell you, for all the people out there, and I use this personally when I'm up against Sotheby's in my market area. I don't know if that's a major competitor for you, but I know it is for so many.
It's one of the many, yeah.
Okay, so the great thing about Sotheby's, in my market, a Sotheby's regular sign could be sitting in front of a $400,000 house or $4 million house. There's no distinction. Call Banker, you know, we have a very distinctive program that you have to be certified to be part of. So it's not like anybody's just walking into a $3 or $4 million house, you know, without some kind of expertise and education behind them. And you really, really, really should lean in on that if that's who you're, you know, figure out who you're up against. But it resonates. I mean, Sotheby's is a great brand. I'm not knocking them, but you have to figure out your competition and figure out how to get ahead of them.
Right. No, I agree. Frank, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My
That was
pleasure.
my question. You're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And we also have a question. Our next question is from Adrian Voss. Go ahead. I see you're at a watch party. You're in an office, it looks like, Adrian.
Yes, we're calling in from Stanford today. And one of my agents over here, Anita, she was asking, and maybe this is a question for you too, Frank. Could somebody give us a little bit clarification on the wealth engine portion of global luxury, and like in your marketing, how does that look? How do we explain that to our possible sellers and clients that like this is a great way for us to target those specific buyers and audiences?
Yeah, right. I was going to say, I'm happy to chime in unless, Frank, I don't know if you use Wealth Engine and want to make a plug for it, but I can at least answer at a high level. So Wealth Engine, actually, I was just on a meeting earlier with Tori for a $20 million listing opportunity in Connecticut. And we were talking about what differentiates Coldwell Banker. And we kind of boiled it down to a number of things, but Wealth Engine came up because that is definitely something that we have access to that other brokerages do not. And so what we love about Wealth Engine is you're able to prospect. Essentially, you can log in and prospect. It is for luxury property specialists, so that is part of the benefit of becoming certified. And you can basically go in and get very niche and filter the data. So of course, the obvious filters are income level and geography and things like that. But then you can go in and filter by lifestyle attributes as well. So for example, if the home is on the water and you want to target buyers that have boats, or actually Tori and I worked on a listing with a 10-car garage. And so we went in and filtered by the types of cars that people drive. It also filters by charitable organizations. So it allows you to see, you know, where people might be contributing their finances and their money. So that's obviously a very interesting thing to know about someone. So then you go in and you filter, and it basically spits out how many buyers or prospects are in that category, and you can download that list. And then you can either choose to do a direct mail, or you have the option to, you get email addresses, so you can kind of choose how you want to leverage those contacts and those pieces of information. We also see it's primarily a prospecting tool, but we also see a lot of agents and luxury property specialists that use it to actually just find more information about a certain profile. So it goes beyond LinkedIn. So you can kind of look up, like I said, a charitable organization that they belong to, or just more information about someone. And so it allows you to just be more prepared for that listing appointment. So that creates that common ground before you even meet the person, and just gives you a little bit more of a leg up. to show that you've done your research. So I don't know if anyone else from the team wants to add on to that, or if you have any follow-up questions, but that's how we position it, certainly in a listing appointment, but also just as a differentiator for Coldwell Banker.
How would we?
Yeah, or Frank, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but I do see it as, you know, it's valuable because you're able to target a quality list of individuals instead of blanket advertising to a larger group. But Frank, we'd love to hear from you. I'm sure you
Yeah,
have some expert advice.
Keep it super brief, but just recently, so there's a very young agent in my office. He is certified, but he has never taken on a listing, you know, probably over $2 million. He cold called expired listings and got into a house by persistence for like a $4 million property outside of our market area. And he asked me if I would go with him on the listing presentation because he was a nervous wreck. And as we were driving there, you know, we passed a bunch of horse farms. So during our presentation, we opened the laptop, went into Wealth Engine, put up, you know, horse people, you know, and here come this list of all wealthy people that own horses. And he said, the first thing I'll do if you give me this listing is I will send a brochure to every single one of these people. And the guy was like, this is amazing. You know, it had been obviously listed with a very high end, you know, luxury brand out in that area. You know, we're going to hear this week if he got the listing or not, but I will tell you, sitting across from these homeowners, they were extremely impressed.
You'll have to follow up in the chat if you get it, because everyone's going to be on the edge of their seat now.
And just so all of you know, a subscription such as what you get as a luxury property specialist with Coldwell Banker starts at $6,000 for the Wealth Engine subscription that you get. So that's really great. And I'm now glad, Frank, that I wore my horse shirt today for everybody.
$6,000 a year, you guys get it for free.
Thank you, Adrian. Great question. Any additional questions?
No, I think that's it. Or well, Anita,
Just how do we access it?
yeah, how would we access it? Is that something that Tori could send out to us?
Tori, go ahead.
Yeah, Anita and Adrian, I will send you everything you need.
Okay, perfect.
The way
Thank you
that,
so much.
but for everybody else, it's there's a on desk under global luxury marketing tools. There's a section for Wealth Engine. That's where you would go to find more information and sign the agreement form. But you can of course reach out to your luxury marketing team if you need any direct support with that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Adrian and crew. And then we have one more question, it looks like, from Cynthia.
Hello, everybody. I am sitting here with Oro Valley Marana here out in Arizona, and one of my colleagues had a question as it relates to what we meant by geographic flexibility. If someone could just elaborate on what that means insofar as your presentation goes.
Cynthia, do you mind providing a little bit more context unless one of the presenters remembers what that might
Do you
be
mean
referring
like
in
how
to?
the content is flexible for geographic locations?
Well, my colleague is referencing specifically page 75 of the trend report. And your presentation also mentioned geographical flexibility. And if we're putting you on the spot and you don't have a clarifying answer, that's okay. We can always touch base later. But we were confused on that point, or just wanted more emphasis on how you guys were using it insofar as global luxury.
I think we'll have to look into that and provide a little bit.
Page 75.
Yeah, I think we need to find the context for it, but then I think we could get back to you about that.
All good.
Did you say geographical flexibility? I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think I'm not 1000% certain, but from what I've taken away from the current trend report, high net worth individuals are shifting more towards making strategic purchases rather than just building on their portfolios. So I think the geographical flexibility most likely refers to being open to purchasing in other marketplaces, and whatever, complements the type of portfolio that they currently have. I don't know, Frank, if you have any recent experience with that, but I do know that are a lot of transactions being made in multiple states across our network and even across the country right now. So that flexibility in their portfolios is most likely what that reference is.
I would think you're correct. And I think what you do find is a lot of the people within these circles do travel within the same areas. So, you look at somebody like Dawn McKenna, who's opened up offices now
Right.
across multiple areas purposely because people from Chicago are moving to Naples. So it made sense for her to open up an office there. And, you're seeing that now with more and more of these. I'm an individual agent, but with these mega teams, Ricardo Rodriguez is opening in multiple areas. They're following where their clients are going rather than just referring them. They're opening in those areas. And it's obviously becoming very, very fruitful for them because they're controlling the movement of their clients around the country.
And I think that's one of our strengths as a network, specifically our global luxury network
100%.
here. Frank makes connections at our network events with people from, Italy and San Miguel and all over the place. So we have partners everywhere. We do have CB Refer if you're not licensed in that other country or that other state, so that you can keep that transaction and refer to somebody that's trusted and part of this global luxury program. Are there any additional questions? I don't see any other hands raised or anything we're missing in the chat. Really great questions today, very strategic, and appreciate that a lot. This session, again, has been recorded, and it will be posted on our Global Luxury YouTube channel in our Global Luxury playlist. So we'll have that, and I'm sure Kelly probably wants to wrap as well, but Frank, it's really great to see you, and thank you so much for all of the fantastic insights.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And remember that we did put some resources in the chat, so make sure to check those out. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, ladies.